welcome to another exciting, educating, insightful edition of the Family Moment Show, your regular family show where we deal with issues that affect our families and see how we can build a better, stronger society starting from the family. On the Family Moment Show, we believe that the family is that unit that is entrusted with the process of producing the results, the actual product we want to see in the society. And today we are going to be looking at a very important topic: parents and their children career path. Should parents dictate their children career path, or should children be given the independence or the liberty to choose what their career path should be? Today we have sitting guests in the house with loads of knowledge, of experiences to be doing justice to this topic. Don't go away, we'll be right back after this short break.
Audio Jungle.
Welcome back from that short break. I am Stella Iremiatoy, faculty member for Family Moment Show and your anchor for today's show. And in the studio, I have a seasoned guest, Mrs. Adeyemo Olupomile. She is an educationist par excellence with over 25 years experience. Mrs. Adeyemo holds a master's degree in economics. She has administered and supervised international curriculum for over 20 years. She has served as international examination manager for several exams. Our guest is a certified career analyst, life skill trainer, an alumnus of the Skills Zone Olympiad Foundation, Singapore. She is currently the Director of Education for Trinity International College. Your choice when it comes to boarding secondary school for your words. Welcome on the show, Mrs. Adeyemo Olupomile.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And also in the studio, we have another wonderful guest, Mrs. Juliet Igwe, a certified professional educator with over 21 years experience as an international business leader, school leader, education consultant, a banker, and a teacher. Mrs. Juliet is a lead consultant at Edu Icons Consulting Services and a school leadership coach to dozens of school leaders and hundreds of teachers. She's an author of 3 books and several leadership articles to her credit, and she's keen in making education functional to meet the needs of the society. Welcome, Mrs. Juliet Igwe, to the Family Moment Show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes, we are looking at parents and career paths of their children. You know, in the society, parents, we know we are saddled with this responsibility to ensure that we bring up our children in the way we want them, because we believe that our family is our model. So it's our brand. We want to bring out what we feel should be our ideal family. So it is very natural and common to hear parents say, my first child must be this, he must be an engineer, because that has been my dream. Before I gave birth to my children, I've already said my first daughter must be a nurse or a barrister, whatever. Now, the society has evolved over time and a lot has happened. You know, we have children that are even more informed, in quotes, than their parents. But we still believe that the parents are the brand owners, the ambassadors of their family. They are the ones with the manual for their family. They know what they want as far as their family is concerned before the children came along. But we have the children with their own mind, what they want for themselves. So we are looking at parents' influence on the career path of their children, the relationship between parents and their children career path, including the influence, expectations, and all the likes we have when it comes to parents and what they can exert on their children's career path. So, Mrs. Olupomile, what is the impact of parental expectation on children career choices in our society today in a way that does not affect what the family is meant to be, keeping us together?
Okay, parental expectation is an important determining factor of children's career path in our days and even in Gen Z.
Gen Z.
And it is a double-edged sword. Parental expectation can be a motivating factor, especially when a child is supported to follow his or her passion, his or her dream. For example, a parent who dreamt of having children to be medical doctors if they started early and and everything the child needs, finance, medical kit, and everything that will make the journey of the child easier, if it is provided, the child can work towards excellence. However, it will always bring negativity in the life of the child.
So the influence can either be positive or negative. Okay.
Especially if the child's interest and ability differ
from what the parents
want. So forcing a career path on children could bring disobedience, could bring depression. For example, I've lived with a family, both parents are medical doctors. When the child turned 14, they told the child, we want you to be a medical doctor.
Because they are medical doctors.
Because they are medical doctors. The child obviously had interest in music. Immediately that was said, the child performance in school dropped. I think parents should marry their expectations with the skills and interest of the child in determining a career path for the children. But the antidote to that is also to always start early. You have a business you are running. By the time your child is 3, introduce the child to your line of business. Let him start learning your business. Let him start shadowing your business.
What about the place of natural ability? What if the child's natural ability does not align with the business or the career path of the parents, and you want to start that early to bring the child into your own line of business? Don't you think there's going to be?
There's no problem about that. In career, there's what we call career exploration. Children can explore tens of careers. When they get to your own inclusive, the career of your friend, the most important thing is for them to explore different careers. When they get to what they are passionate about, you will know, they will settle for that. So without career exploration, without looking at career interests, we can never determine career choice. In the age of technology, determining a career path has become the problem of technology. We can use technology to solve that problem. We will get there in this course.
Now, from what Mrs. Adeyemo just mentioned, that we can start very early to model the child into the career choice of their parent. So, Mrs. Juliet, how can parents strike that balance between guidance and independence when it comes to career path for their children?
Interesting. As we were just discussing off camera, there's something I would like to call guided independence.
Guided independence.
Yes,
that's interesting.
Like oxymoron, secret, open secret. So I was trying to cite an example with where I come from. We are very big and farming. When you plant yam and the yam seedling begins to grow and germinate, you will see the stem of the yam going everywhere. You need something like a bamboo stick to guide the stem of that yam towards a particular focus, a direction. So that is what happens also with the children. When the yam stem is well guided, you don't need to stand there to watch it grow. You are giving it direction, and that is exactly what happens to the children. When they are growing up, just like Mr. Adeyemo said, you start early. You begin to expose them to different career paths, and you begin to see where their strength actually lies. And when you do that, you ask some, open-ended questions, and with that, you should be able to, pinpoint a few things about where the interest of that child lies, and begin to give those supports gradually, giving the child guidance and also making the decision open for the child, and also trying to know exactly why that child wants to explore that career path.
The child wants to explore that career path.
The interest here, the basic question here is why, not what. Because when the child clarifies the reason behind his or her interest in a particular career path, it will help you to know, okay, yes, this my child is actually interested in this because of so impact he or she wants to make in the society. So it is actually not about the what, but it's about the why. You guide a child to have better self-awareness, understand their strengths and their weaknesses, and you guide them towards exploring and strengthening their strengths towards that career path.
So we need to guide while you're allowing them a bit of independence.
Exactly.
You'll be on standby to guide. So back to you, Ma. What are the strategies that parents can use to support their children's career choices without hurting them? Now we've said something about guidance and independence. So what are the strategies that you can employ? You know, these days, whether we like it or not, somehow, except for those parents that are on top of it, the children are fast ahead in terms of information, in terms of knowledge. If I want to talk about career, so many careers that the traditional parents are not even aware of. These children already know about it. And sometimes when they come to you to tell you that, Mom, I have decided to throw this path, you're like, what are you talking about? Let's assume you are coming into their world. Exactly, we are coming into their world. They were born into this world. So what strategy can you use as a parent so you don't be left out completely? I know children, they need the support, they need the backup, they need the emotional, psychological backing from their parents to excel. So what are those strategies parents can use to support their children's career choices?
So many strategies. For example, job shadowing.
Job shadowing.
During the holidays, it is not just enough to send your children for lessons. Let them go and work.
They should go and work.
Yes.
So not summer lessons, summer lessons.
They can spend 1 week in a profession, the next week in a profession. They can do volunteer work.
Wow.
You can ask them to write questions they need to ask people in different professions. They can do volunteer work. Then the most important one is the other time I spoke about using technology. As a career analyst with Edu Milestones, the best career analyst company in India, we use technology to assess the interest of the child, the personality of the
with
child,
technology,
the skills and abilities.
How do you achieve that?
Child, the motivator of the child. So, and it is an ongoing process. When the child is in primary school, do a career assessment for them. When they are in the lower secondary school, do a career assessment, discuss the results with them. When they are in senior secondary school, do a career assessment. I just did a career assessment for a student in year 10. If I spend my money, my platform is down. I have a career assessment platform. So I did it directly with Edu Milestone. It's a 36-page report.
36-page report.
And it will tell you who the child is. And there will be suggestions of the careers, clusters of careers that the child can involve in. And there will be some careers that will be mentioned, which is a no-go area. However, the children develop, you know. So knowing the career path is an ongoing process. The test can always be done over and over again after certain learning are taking place. And one more thing, each parent is the biggest cheerleader for the children. Whichever path, whichever interest the child wants to follow, support that child. Be the biggest cheerleader.
Cheer and the fan of your
I
child.
just want to add a little bit to what she said. She mentioned working.
Yeah.
If the child is not up to the age of working during this summer break, it will be also advisable for parents to expose them to different skill sets instead of just going to school for holiday coaching and they still learn math and English. It would be nice to
do something different outside the classroom, the regular
classes, different skill sets. When you expose them to those skills and interests, you will now guide their interest to a particular thing, and they will now decide on what to do later in their lifetime.
Okay, there's still on you, Ms. Juliana. There is this thing with us, whether we like it or not. our decisions, our choices we make, most times is as a result of our value system. We make our choices, we make our decisions based on our value system. So what is the role of values and interests when it comes to career choices between parents and their children?
Interesting. We all have our values, just like you rightly said, family values, personal values. It has a lot to do as far as career choices is concerned. For someone that sees music as is just the gangsters that do music,
Yes,
it will be difficult for that parent to approve his or her child to go into music. And for some parents that see football as a waste of time, they wouldn't see Ronaldo in the child when the child is just starting. So it is very important, as much as we are upholding our values, let's also take into consideration the interests of that child, guide the child. Like I said earlier, the interest of the child is very, very important here. And your value as a parent, as a family, is also important as well. That is why it's very important for us to have family values and instill those values in our children, so that when they are making their career choices, they will also have the values, their family values at the back of their mind, even though they might consider it is not relevant, so long as I get to do what I want. But values, they are very important. They are the things that make us who we are, and we need to uphold that, even while giving them the space to do what they want to
make their career choices. Talking about family belief system, values versus career choices of children, I can imagine a family that is very, very religious, and what they would expect from their children is one becoming a medical doctor, the other one becoming a chartered accountant, or even bless you, ma'am, or even a pastor. And unfortunately, the child's mentor is Davido. He wants to be a pop star.
Wow.
What would this have happened to that family's value system?
Burna Boy's dad was the manager of Fela.
Burna Boy's dad, yes.
The mother was a dancer with Fela. So it follows the family. It follows the family values and belief. Burna Boy.
Yeah. But even that is even close, and they are in that direction. At least they've been in the music, in the entertainment section from time, so it was very easy. Now, coming from two different value systems, the way a very religious family will view a pop star won't sit well when a child comes home to tell the father, I want to be a pop star, I want to be wearing big earrings and heavy necklaces, for a man that would have loved to see his child on the pulpit.
Some very tough parents will even go as far as disowning that child.
Before we round up this session, that is why I said at the beginning that parents need to start early.
We talked about interest. We talked about allowing the child to explore and try to see the area of interest of the child. Now the child has explored. His area of interest is in pop.
And that's why you need to guide the child.
Pop music. So what do you do?
We are still talking about family, the impact of family.
Values.
Where do we get our when the child, where does he get his values from? From home, from environment, and from the parent, from experience. So if the family values, if the parent has been working on the child, if the family value is
has
strong,
been well
articulated and
instilled
embedded
in
and
that child,
instilled in that child,
you would have guided the child's choice.
Yes.
That would have asked how come the child was so exposed.
If you do not instill your values early on the child, it will learn it from the environment or from the society. That is why we say start early. Instill your values on your child early, or else you will pick it up another value from the environment.
Wow, so much to still be said on this topic, parents and the career path of their children. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go away.
Audio Jungle.
Wow, welcome back from that short break. Is still your Family Moment show. And we've been looking at the topic, parents and the career path of their children. In the studio, we have Mrs. Adeyemo and Mrs. Juliet Igwe, who have been doing so much justice to this topic. And on this show, we believe families are meant to be together. They are supposed to be kept together. But one of the things that is tearing families apart is the issue of career choices that children tend to follow versus what their parents want them to do. And take a look at it. We have the world has evolved over time. We had the generation that we call the traditionalists. We evolved from there to the generation X. Then we have the millennials, and now we have the Gen Zs, like you say. So, and there's this generational differences when it comes to career. The traditionalists, we have what we call the normal career path that everyone knows about. You must be either a medical doctor, an accountant, an engineer, an architect, and all of that. So it comes in that one name. That is what the traditional parents know about. But now we have the Gen Zs, all manner of profession. And why do we want to go into all of that? Is to earn a living, right? To be fulfilled. But these days we have quite a lot that even the traditional parents don't even know about. So how do we manage these generational differences? The Gen Zs, mind you, they are the children we have now. They've not started giving birth to their own, so their time is still coming. So we have the traditionalists or the Generation X or the millennials as the parents now, parenting the Gen Zs. So how do we manage these generational differences when it comes to career? Mrs. Juliet.
Oh wow, this is amazing. You know, as someone that works with school leaders, I want to take it from that angle. In the workplace today, there's a lot of challenges with leadership. And that is because we have different generations and different needs from this variety of generations working in the same place. Their needs differ, and the way to meet their needs also differ. And that is why it's very important to really understand them and understand what they really need. So it's a very big thing, and we need to, parents as much as possible need to have an open heart, a large heart, to create that family values we are talking about. With that family values, it will be able to guide the children properly, so that when they are making their career choices, their career decisions, it will also be within the family values. They should not go completely outside of what the family
No, Ma, what we are talking about the career choices, the career options we have now versus the way careers were designed in the previous generation.
Okay,
right.
okay.
So you understand? Because coming from the traditional generation to the Generation X, the millennial, now the Gen Z. You know, these days, 20 years ago, we don't have anything like remote work. Nowadays, what comes to our mind as parents that makes a responsible child is in the morning, you dress up, you go to your work. It's either a 5 to 6 work or 8 to 5 work. That is what strikes us.
Let me come
yeah.
in.
That is what strikes us.
Let
yes.
me come in here. The other time I say we need to use technology to determine our children's career path. The most important thing now, apart from technology, is to look at labor market reports.
And the
There are
trends.
some professions that have gone into extinction.
Wow.
Secretary, the job of a secretary have gone into extinction. A lot of professions have gone into extinction, and we have the emergence of new professions. In the olden days, the days of determining the career path of your children by using the rule of the thumb is over, because we have new professions.
What if the parent now doesn't have much knowledge about what those professions are? That would be a problem.
That is the reason for the family show, isn't it? So we are informing parents now that stop using the rule of the thumb in determining the career
Career
choice of your children.
On the Gen Z
on
children.
the Gen Z children. We have an easy way of doing that. Use technology. 2 years ago, a parent came to me to fill the JAMB form for the daughter. What course? She said accounting. I asked the daughter, what course do you want to study? She said either sociology or psychology.
Which doesn't sit well with the parent.
With the parent.
Well, I will
So,
ask, what psychology, what are you
am-
talking about?
I took the child to the career counseling technology platform. We look at the girl did career personality test 1, career interest test 2, career skills and ability test 3, career motivator test, that is 4, career values and motivation test, that is 5. By the time the result came out, the result shows that the girl has aptitude for social service, nursing, sociology, psychology. I
Not
told the
accounting.
parent, and not accounting. I said,
That means the child is even well informed than the parent. So it means if you are a parent, you should wake up.
yes.
This is not the time to say this is how it was in the beginning.
So I
This
want
is
to
how it
add
should
up
be.
something to it. All of these things you're mentioning, they're very, very interesting. But what about parents that may not really be able to afford all of these tests? That is the reality of our situation today.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. How do
Yes,
we
they
manage
still
this
want-
gap, these
yes, I'm coming
differences?
there. They still want the best for their children. One of the things that the parents can do is to be aware of the current situation of the world. Expose yourself. You all have phone. Google so many of these things. When your child is talking to you, Google some of these things and get yourself aware. A parent that is not aware today will not
be left
raise.
behind.
You cannot raise a Gen Z without being
On top of
socially
it.
aware of what is going on. So you need to ask very critical questions online and get the result.
I agree with you. That will help parents to avoid waste of time.
Exactly.
I was talking with a girl not long ago, and I was like, she's a fashion designer. She designs wonderful outfits and all of that. And I was like, you are passionate about this thing. How come? She said, and I said, you would have gone far if you are this good in this business. And he said, Ma'am, I wasted a lot of time going to school to study. She mentioned the course, I can't quite recall. I said, why? She said something that struck me. She said, that was what my father wanted. So I had to spend those 6 years for my father. And now that I've gotten the certificate, I've dedicated it to him, I'm now pursuing my passion.
No.
So that if the parents were better informed, I think should have been guided in that path to avoid that waste. She said, Ma, I got that certificate for my father. I'm not going to use it. I've given it to him. I am now pursuing my passion.
Now, I want to add this. I want to thank you, Mrs. Igwe. Parents have their own part to play, but I want to give new assignment to our educational institutions. They should educate the parents, educate the children. School is important. Education is important. This also will now bring us to the 4 critical soft skills: communication, creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. Schools must do more in enlightening parents and in enlightening children about different career paths. Vicky James acquired sewing skills when she was in school. It is no longer enough to just teach English, maths, physics, chemistry,
Board
biology.
and the classroom.
Exactly.
We should do more outside the box.
We should do more outside the classroom and send report to parents.
And parents too must be involved in what is going on.
In
Some
school.
parents will feel, what are you talking about? I sent my child. No, most parents, because they are traditionalists that have not woken up to the reality of what it means to parent, the Gen Zs, they feel like No, their own idea of a good school is the school where they make good grades from the classroom.
It's changing. The
Well, it's
trend is
changing, yes.
And that's why a lot of schools, for me, I'm a very strong advocate of entrepreneurship education. I believe that there is an entrepreneurial trait in every child. There is something in you that people are willing to pay for. So why can't the school restructure their curriculum to incorporate lifelong learning into it, so that at every stage of education, when a child is passing out, you're passing out with a skill that you can leverage on and become independent. And that is actually, like Mama said, starting early. The school can take a holistic view at their curriculum, incorporate lifelong learning, uphold entrepreneurship education, and help these children to imbibe wonderful skills that they can leverage on and become somebody in the future. And I think we'll have less issues to deal with as far as career issue is concerned when they begin from foundation. Because today, school is training children to come out and look for job. What if we make them to be job creators? They begin from early to get their stand, get their focus, and create their own job.
Okay, that brings me to this question. Given the reality on ground, parenting the Gen Z, now should children be encouraged to take full ownership of their career decisions, of their career choices?
Okay, I want to recall the quote from my bishop, David Oyedepo. He said that your destiny is at the mercy of your decision. So the earlier we let our children know that they should take full responsibility of whatever decisions they make in life, the better they need to get all these things we are talking about. As far as we are trying to guide them, we are aware that some people might not want to listen to their parents. No matter what you do, some of them will be held bound on doing what they want to do. So we need to let them know that they will take whatever is the outcome of their decision, that they should be ready to take full responsibility.
That there are also consequences for any decision that they take. Exactly. So, from your experience, being with children, being in the classroom, counseling and all that, do you think children should be allowed to be in charge of their career choices? Should they be given that responsibility?
Children should be allowed, but they should be guided. They should be guided and they should be supported. And parents should know that the era of linear occupation, linear career has ended. Now we have Gen Z making money from portfolios of career. OECD.
From portfolio of careers. Yes. Can you say more about that?
Yes, 4 years ago, OECD forecasted that by 2030, the linear careers, 50% of workers will have portfolios of career. That linear careers will end with our generation. In fact, as at now, research also shows that people who are high performers, 75% of high performers have portfolios of career. 50% of others have portfolios of career. So parents should support the interest of their children career choice. They should just guide them.
There was also another research that said from about 80% of billionaires today that we have are self-made, in quotes, and it's just about 15% or thereabout that inherited from their parents. Yeah, viewers, so much has been said today on career paths of children and their parents' expectation. And we believe as parents that are parenting the Gen Z of today, we've had a lot today to guide us and ensure that the family is not torn apart with issues of career, what the child should be and what the child shouldn't be. We encourage that parents should be more aware of what this generation actually needs. The time of linear employment, like we've had today, has gone. Now, what is going to take the stage is portfolio of careers where children will earn from different sources. We're going to be having things like remote jobs, giving them money, you have to work from home and all that. So parents, we need to be better informed so we won't have hitches, we won't have issues in the family. Remember, as a family, we have to stay together, we have to grow together, encourage each other, choice of career shouldn't tear families apart. Parents, we must wake up to the reality that is on ground. This is the Gen Z. We call them the Generation Z. A lot is going to change because the world is evolving. We have to go along that path. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles. We'll be coming back with more on this topic. Thank you very much, Mrs. Adeyemo and Mrs. Juliet Igwe, for allowing us to tap a little into your wealth of knowledge and experience on this topic of parents and the career path of their children. And viewers, don't forget to follow our social media handles. A lot has been said today, and stay tuned for more interesting episodes on the Family Movement Show, keeping us together. Thank you. See you next time.